Today we're going to learn more about a new piece of art in Hattiesburg's Pocket Alley. It's called Say Cheese, and it is said to please even the most discerning of palates. I'd love to hear that. And joining us is the artist herself, Miss Caren Loy. Hey, Caren.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Congratulations on your new permanent installation there at the Hattiesburg's Pocket Alley. We're looking at it over at SuperTalkTV.com, and I love it. It looks like a big cheese wheel.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, it's exactly what it is.
Okay, so first, if folks haven't heard of Hattiesburg's Pocket Alley and that it's a museum, how do you describe it to people who haven't ever been there?
It would be a nice little surprise that you kind of walk up on. They like to describe it as like a secret alley, and it has exhibits, art murals. It has tiny little window exhibit that changes out monthly with their own theme, and then they have even a little art gallery where you can contribute your art from home and also take from an artist right out of the gallery.
So you're not new to this. This is your first, I think, permanent installation, but you've had other works there throughout the times. How many works have you had within the Pocket Alley?
I have not been counting. I kind of do just weekly art drops. I'll leave a little bit here and there in the gallery. I'd probably put it over like 40 to 50 little pieces.
Okay, so you really sort of invested in what they're trying to do there, obviously, too, bringing art in such a accessible way to the community, because from what I realize or have been told, it's open like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not like your typical museum. It's literally an alley.
Absolutely, it is. It is. You can go as you please and walk it at your pace, and you kind of just discover different things that you might not have seen the first time. And a lot of stuff changes, so it's not the same as like a month ago.
Well, if it's permanent, then you're going to see it every time, which is your new installation, which is a permanent one, which is Say Cheese. So tell us the inspiration behind this and how you kind of picked what you picked to do.
Well, I was contacted by the museum if I was interested, and I said sure, and I just went down to the alley and started looking around at ideas, and I saw the manhole cover. And I had like a square cutout of concrete, and I thought this would be a really cute cheese plate, and it kind of just snowballed from there, all the different elements that I added to it, and just made it really fun and whimsical.
Well, when I look at a manhole plate now, I'm always going to think about cheese, which I can appreciate that. Is it hard to paint, like, because when you're looking at it, it looks so lifelike. It almost looks 3D, I guess, would be a way of saying it. Is there a different technique or style that you have to use when, I guess, painting on a street versus if you're just painting on, a normal sort of canvas or paper or, I guess, a wall?
Right. There were some things to take into consideration because the manhole cover is, the metal and then the concrete. So the type of paint to use, weather-specific paint, and also knowing that people are going to walk on it. So I had to have a clear, really durable finish for the top.
So there's also a little Milo, I've heard, or a little mouse somewhere around there that can enjoy this cheese, or is part of is Milo part of the permanent installation there at the Pocket Alley, or tell us who Milo is, or is it Milo?
It's Milo, yes, and he is part of the Pocket Museum. They have him as their little curator for the museum pieces. It's always so sweet and whimsical, all the cute little stuff they come up with, but that's him. And then I kind of just spun off that idea that, these are Milo's friends and the little mischief that they get into down at the end of the alley.
Because that's where your mind would go if you allowed it to be childlike and you thought of an alley not being scary. That's what adults think of it. But kids probably think of it as, hey, that's where, the mice come to play or the animals go to roam. And so absolutely, I can see where that would definitely sort of fit in. And so this is there for, I guess, as long as the good Lord leaves it on the manhole cover?
Exactly, yes.
Well, this isn't your only accomplishment in Hattiesburg as an artist. I saw where you recently won first place at the Hattiesburg Arts Council's Take a Seat exhibit. What was that all about? Congratulations.
Oh, and thank you. That was, they did a call for artists that I answered, and they did an art show that included existing chairs that were embellished, or you created your own chair. There were two different categories. So I did an existing chair, and I was inspired by the old gossip benches, the chairs, and I made a bench chair. Basically, kind of telling the story of a military family, and it's called Calls Home, and it has a little old telephone and a telephone box to set on, and a mural on the background of it. So it came out very nice.
Well, Caren, it feels like you paint everything but traditional things like canvases, walls, or sort of paper. When did you sort of get inspired, or I guess fall in love with, painting outside of the box, so to speak?
Kind of outside of the canvas.
Uh-huh.
Just in general, I just kind of get ideas and inspiration from everywhere, and I just try to make it work in different ways that I like. And sometimes it'll be on a chair, or it'll be like I've done on ceramics, on wood, on a lot of different mediums. But just however I feel will suit the little curious message that I'm trying to pass along.
I read too, where you and your kids sort of took to the streets, or at least the sidewalks during COVID, as a way to sort of obviously have creative expression, but then just something to do. How are you sort of instilling that sort of freedom of creativity, obviously not on your home furniture, but just on whatever, to your small children?
Oh yes, well we have no shortage of art supplies in our house, and they are out pretty much all the time. And the sidewalk chalk has continued. Our driveway is continuously covered in different creations, and our children age from 4 to 15, so they come up with some of their own unique things that they think outside of the box, and it's just been really interesting to see the different ages, how they create their own, different sense of what we're talking about. Because we could be talking about rainbows we did last summer for a week, and they all went in different directions with it. So,
and reminding us parents it's okay if kids make a mess, right? Like, it's part of the creative process. Some of us parents need to be told that, like, it's okay to allow kids in their creative freedom to be a little messy at times, as long as it's contained and outside.
Absolutely, yes. We love, big messes outside for sure. We know we're going to be messy. We've done tie-dye, that's outside, and, other things we'll do inside. We've dyed rice, and we made different little things for sensory boxes inside, but mess is part of the process, and it's part of learning, what works and what doesn't work. So it's required.
Mess is required. I feel like that is a bumper sticker or something you should hone, Caren, because it is true, and that is where you kind of allow your kids to express themselves and sort of figure out different things. I've got a little artist in my house, and so I'm trying to embrace, the mess that it is, because that is not how my brain works. But when I see the cool things like the Pocket Museum and other sort of ways, you realize that art can take many forms, and it can bring such joy to people in the simplest ways, like your Say Cheese Wheel there in an alley in Hattiesburg. How can we find the Pocket Museum, Caren?
Okay, so the Pocket Museum is affiliated with the Sanger Theater in Hattiesburg. So if you are at the Sanger Theater, and I know they like to keep it kind of a secret, that is their little motto, but if you're by the Sanger Theater and there's an alleyway next to it, you're most likely in the Pocket Alley. You'll notice overhead is kind of the giveaway. They have a walk bridge in the alley that looks like it's made out of Legos. It's very vibrant and colorful. So once you see that, you've made the right turn.
And if you see a big piece of cheese on the floor that's painted there, then you're probably also in the right direction. Where can we find Milo? If we look for him, or you know what? Don't tell us. First, we'll find the alley, and then
most the fun.
That's the fun. Then we'll find Milo. But go out and enjoy it, because I know you and your husband and family are moving, and I know the Pine Belt's going to miss you and your art, Caren. But we appreciate his service, and I appreciate your time.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Definitely. Thank you for talking to me today.